and I'm a little late. I'm a lot late, but it is what it is. I've been running behind for a couple months now. One day I'll get caught up, right? Maybe. Anywho, this month's theme for the Sew Sampler subscription box is Patchwork Prairie. And this is October 2025. As usual, there are deals on the back of this card and some freebies. This month, if we spend $65 or more, we have a promo code to get it free, a 16-inch wooden ruler rack. And I think I've seen Kimberly use this on her YouTube channel. So I've got the code covered up, but that's what it is. That ruler rack. I like it, but it's not practical for my setup because I don't need anything else on my countertop spaces. So I wouldn't be getting that. I hang my rulers. There's also a QR code to remind you about the Socialites 3 quilt along, and the alternate pattern for this month is a layer cake latte quilt pattern. That's a free pattern on the Fat Quarter Shop website. I've actually made it about a year ago out of fig tree jelly and jam. It was beautiful in that fabric, but they've got it mocked up with the fabric that's in this month's box, which I'll get to in a moment. So Prairie, Patchwork Prairie, which many of you may have already guessed what the fabric is then. It is the Evening on the Prairie by Riley Blake Designs. Of these. Some of these would be beautiful to make aprons or a dress. Maybe like a mommy and me dress for mom and baby or daughter, toddler. Very pretty colors, very fallish. And if you like golds and purples, subdued golds and purples, this would be one you'd really like. Looks like these are coming up pretty much true to color on my monitor. Put these down so I can get to them easier. And if you notice in the background, I've got my flimsy up of Jelly Roll Relish. That's the quilt I made for National Jelly Roll Day in September. I finished it a few weeks ago, and that's a little lighter in person. It's coming a little dark. I've got to get it's sandwiched and quilted, but right now I'm quilting, free motion quilting my Starburst pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop charity quilt along. This is more of a sage green. It's coming up a little dark on the monitor. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. This is not a line I would have probably purchased on my own, but now that I have it, I've got a lot of ideas for how I'd like to use it. So I do like that about the subscription box. That's one of many things I like about it, is there are things I get that I normally wouldn't buy for myself, but when I get it, I'm like, I actually like that. So that's the fabric from Modern Prairie, and it's called Evening on the Prairie. Next in our box, we also get this little brochure that kind of tells us a little bit about everything and what's the value of it. The value of that junior stacker was $22.98. Next, I have something similar, but these are so handy it doesn't hurt to have extra. It's a magnet mate, and it's extending like a telescope extension. You can use these when you drop pins on the floor. I can't tell you how many times I've dropped a handful of pins or my whole pin cushion on the floor and it just went everywhere. These are lovely to have. This is a $12.98 value. If you like foundation paper or you haven't tried it, Sew Sampler Subscription Box puts these foundation papers of varying kinds in here throughout the year. I love foundation paper. It's very helpful to me. But this month we got the 5-inch square and a square. And actually I think I was out of these, so came in handy. That is a $9.98 value. Our pattern that goes along with our fabric is called Pie Safe, and it makes me think of my great-grandmother. She had a pie safe, and it just, I don't know, just brings back some sentimental memories. But here's this month's pattern. It is exclusive to the subscription box, so if you don't get the box, you don't get the pattern. They don't typically sell the patterns separately that come with the fabric as your project. So if you like the patterns you're seeing in these boxes, you may want to consider signing up. Now, what I said, if you don't want to use that pattern, they always have an alternate. And in fact, they gave us an alternate in this pattern. You can do the table runner, but they also provided information on what additional items you would need if you wanted to make it larger into like a lap quilt. So, and it's a pretty lap quilt too. Nice. That pattern is a value of $9.98. All right. I have this, but I love it, and this is one of these things you can't have too many of, or having 2 or 3 of them is helpful, because just like seam rippers, you need more than one. I have 4 because it never fails when I'm needing it. I lay it down and I can't find it, so I have 4. But this is the add a quarter ruler, and it comes in very handy when you are using foundation paper to keep your 1/4-inch edge neat and tidy. I'm sure there's other things you can use it for, but I use it for foundation paper piecing. It says you can use it with templates and anything you need to make sure you keep a 1/4-inch edge on. So what's unique about this ruler, it has a lip on it, so it keeps you from, it helps you be more precise in catching that 1/4-inch. So the lip will catch on the edge of your seam. I'm not explaining that well, but maybe you'll get the idea. Okay. In fact, I think I'm going to start collecting items that I get through subscription boxes, or that somehow come into my possession and it's not something I'm going to use. I already have one. I may put this in the basket to do a giveaway when I hit 300 subscribers. I think I'll do a giveaway. So that's going in the giveaway basket. So share my channel with your friends. Get us up to 300 subscribers and I'll do a little giveaway. That ruler value is $8.98. Last item in the box is this month's block for the flowering quilt along we're doing. It's block number 7, and it's called What's Up Buttercup. I am sewing along with this and posting my videos as I get to them. I think I have done through number 4. Or yeah, I think number 4. So I'm running behind, but not really behind, because I can go at my own pace, because this is my hobby, and I try not to get caught up in go, 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 do, do, do. I want to enjoy my hobby, because when it starts becoming work and starts becoming something that I've got to stick to a schedule and make myself not be as good to myself as I should, meaning maybe I'm giving up sleep and giving up time with my family and giving up things like that so I can meet a schedule to stay on track. I don't want to ever get in that position. So I sew along as I can, because I have a family I love dearly. I have activities in my community and my church. I work a full-time big girl job. So when I get up here, I try to do it as my hobby and something I enjoy, and I don't want it to ever turn into work and having to stick to a routine and schedule to the point where it makes me not want to do it anymore. It takes the fun out of it. Okay, that's enough of that. So that's everything. This has a price, a recommended value of $4.98. So as a recap, we had our foundation paper, our flowering block pattern, our magnet to pick up pins every time I spill them, a junior layer cake, or whatever Riley Blake calls it. I don't think they call them layer cakes. They call them, yeah, I have to look at here. I think Moda calls them layer cakes. Moda calls them layer cakes, and Riley Blake calls them stackers. So it's a junior stacker. We've got the pie safe pattern, the add a quarter ruler, which I'm going to put that in the giveaway basket for when we get to 300 subscribers. We will, 400 subscribers. I'm almost to 400, not almost to 300. When we get to 400 subscribers, I'll do a giveaway, and this is going in the giveaway basket. So we've got all those items. The box is $29.95 a month plus tax and shipping. I think shipping's $4.95. So the value of this month's box, the value of this month's box, $69.88. Then, you'd add tax and shipping. So that's a good deal. We paid $29.95 for the box. So we've gotten $39.93 in additional value. So anytime you can come out for more than you spent, that's a deal. My favorite thing in this month's box, I think my favorite thing in this month's box is the pattern. I like that pattern. You could use it in a lot of different fabric choices to make it look vintage or modern. And it's just pretty in those colors. I'm not a big purple fan, but I actually like it with these golds and oranges and fall colors. So I may make that. Let me know what you thought. Do you get the box? What was your favorite item in the box this month? All right, Quilty friends, have a good one. See you next time.